Welcome back. During the previous class, we have studied about the vectors, types of the vectors, the concept of the vector, and then we have discussed about the negative of a vector, then we have discussed equal vector. Now in this class, we are going to start new, heading towards new topics, that is direction of a vector in a space. How will you find the direction of a vector in a space? So here it is. If you have y-axis, this one is x, this one is y, this one is z-axis. These are the three types of the vectors which are mutually perpendicular to each other. And suppose you are standing at center of your room and you are, with the help of a nail, you have a string in your hand. In the corner of one room, if there are three axes connected with the walls of the room and the floor, two at the right and left, and one in the corner moving in up. So this is the basically concept of three axis. So if you look at the position of that vector is in between the three axes, that is A. This is the position. So this force, if it is a force, it is making an angle alpha along x-axis. It is making an angle beta along y-axis, and it's making an angle gamma along y-axis. So these are some three angles which this position vector is making with the three axes x, y, and z. So its coordinates are ax, ay, and az. So it is in between three axes. So the direction of the vector in the space three dimension is specified with a reference to three mutually perpendicular axes x, y, and z. This is the three axes. The direction of the vector A is specified by three angles, that is alpha, beta, and gamma. Alpha is along x-axis, beta is along y-axis, and gamma is along z-axis. So these three angles show the direction of this vector between three axes. So what is antiparallel? Antiparallel, if to the vector, if there are two or then more than two vectors are parallel if they are acting along the opposite direction. So they are anti-parallel. They are anti-parallel if they are acting along different direction. If they are acting along the same direction, suppose the direction of this vector is this one. If the direction is this one, then it becomes, if this one is a one vector, this one is the other vector. If both the vectors are acting along the same direction, they are parallel. But if the one vector is acting like these, acting in this direction, these acting in opposite direction, these two vectors are called anti-parallel vector because they are not acting along the same direction. So here it is. If they are not acting along the same direction, they are called anti-parallel. B and D, these two vectors are not acting along the same direction. They are said to be anti-parallel vectors. So what is a unit vector? A unit vector is a vector that has a magnitude of equal to 1. This is the basic concept of a unit vector. These unit vectors are normally written with I, and a unit vector is 1. Along x-axis, the unit vector is I and a cap. Along y-axis, the unit vector is y, unit vector is j. And along z-axis, the unit vector is k. So this is the concept of unit vector, which shows the direction of a vector along any type of axis. So this is the main concept of a unit vector. Or a vector, small I, j, and k. I will be along, unit vector will show the direction along x-axis. J will show the direction of a vector along y-axis, and k will show the direction of a vector along z-axis. A unit vector is used to represent the direction of a vector, which is represented by this one. In Cartesian coordinate, it is typically to use represent the unit vector in x, y, and z directions respectively. Along x-axis, it is I. Along y-axis, it is j. and along z-axis it is k. So these I, j, and k. Suppose if I draw it again, this one is x, this one is z-axis perpendicular to these two, three. If it is x, this one is y, and here this one is z, then it will be I, and here it will be j, and here it will be k. So these are three unit vector along three axes which shows the direction. So unit vector is a vector whose magnitude is 1. So null vector. A vector having magnitude equal to 0 and arbitrary direction is called null vector or zero vector. When it happens when we add these two vectors which are having the same magnitude but they are equal in opposite in direction. So if one vector is a, other vector is minus a, when we add these two vectors, the direction is different, the resultant you will be getting 0. The magnitude of 0 is 0. Graphically, a vector is represented by a point where, because point can be 0 magnitude or it can be arbitrary. And if it is arbitrary, you can take the direction in any direction, either in your right, left, down, or up. You can take in any direction. So arbitrary means you can take the direction in any, along any axis. So the magnitude is 0. 0 magnitude is basically a null vector whose direction or the magnitudes are arbitrary. So this is the concept of a null vector. When you find the null vector, it is calculated, or you find a null vector if you add the magnitudes of the two vectors which are opposite in each other. So subtraction of the vectors is a very, this is the same procedure as the procedure for the addition of the vector. Subtraction follows the same rule. If there are vector a1, a2 means addition of the vector a2 minus a2 to a1. Both the vectors are sign of the vector which is to be subtracted from the other is changed. Suppose you are subtracting a vector a2 from 1, you have changed the sign of the vector a2, and it is also written resultant is equal to a1 plus minus, because you have changed the sign. So here it is. If you look at, if this one is vector a2, this vector is a1, you have changed the direction of this vector, and this vector is basically, if you look at, this one is vector a1, you have changed the direction from this to along this direction. So basically the vector which you are trying to add with the other vector, you are only changing the direction of that vector. Or this vector, if this vector is a2, you change the direction of this vector, it will be downward here. So you are adding, so you will bring it here, head with the tail of the second, and finally you will draw a vector whose magnitude is whose head is the head of the last, tail with the tail of the first. This vector is called resultant vector. You are following the same procedure, but what you have done, you have changed the direction of a2. That is, if this vector was having direction along this one, you have changed in this direction along. So this one a2 direction was upward, you have reversed this direction, that is downward, and at the end you are following the same procedure, same steps which we have followed for the addition of the vector. The only difference is, suppose you are adding a1 and you are subtracting with a2, this is a2, means you have to reverse the direction of this vector, that is a plus, and minus reverse the direction, that is exactly downward opposite. So at the end you are adding these two vectors, you are getting a resultant. So that's why it is called resultant of these two vectors. If you look at a rectangle or component of a vector, two vectors, those two vectors of a component of a vector which are mutually perpendicular to one another are rectangular components. And the process of splitting up a vector into its component is called resolution of vector. I'll discuss during on the next slide with the help of the figures as well. The resolution of a vector into component is reverse process of addition of vectors into a resultant. So here it is. This one is Ax. If it is a vector A, you have splitted this vector into horizontal component Ax and the vertical component Ay. And along x-axis unit vector is I, then it is written as Axi. Along y-axis the unit vector is J, and it is written as J. So if you will add these vectors together, then it will be A is equal to Axi, a vector along component of vector along x-axis, component of that vector along y-axis. This is J, y-axis. If you are asked to calculate the angle between the two, that is cosine theta, Ax divided by A, or Ax is equal to A cos theta. So here it is. This is the horizontal component. The horizontal component is cosine theta base divided by hypotenuse. Base is Ax and hypotenuse A. Similarly, if you are asked to calculate sine theta, that is perpendicular divided by hypotenuse, means Ay divided by A. So here it is. This is the perpendicular. This is the sine theta. You are calculating. So what you have done, this was a vector A. You have drawn a perpendicular from point B on x-axis. After drawing perpendicular, you got two components of this vector. This A and B, this Ax and Ay, these are horizontal and vertical components. These are basically called component of a vector. Horizontal and vertical. These are also called rectangular components. So Axi means horizontal vector. Ayj means vertical vector. This is the concept of a vertical vector. If you see what you have done, you are asked to calculate the horizontal component of this force. Say it is A, then horizontal is cosine theta, cos theta. It is equal to base divided by hypotenuse. Base is Ax and hypotenuse A. Cos theta is equal to Ax divided by A, or A is equal to Ax cos theta. So this is basically horizontal component. If you are asked to calculate the vertical component, then this is sine theta. This angle is measured in sine theta, and it is equal to perpendicular divided by hypotenuse. Perpendicular is Ay, hypotenuse A. So that's why perpendicular divided by hypotenuse. So Ay is equal to the y component of the force is the vector is A sine theta. So if you are asked to calculate the magnitude of this vector, it is calculated by using Pythagoras, and it is A square, that is equal to Ax square plus Ay square. So we are interested to calculate the magnitude of A. We will take the square root to the other side, and to this side as well. Here it will be Ax square plus Ay square. If you are given the value of Ax, Ay, the magnitudes of the two and values of the two, then you will take square. You will add and take the square root. Finally, you will be able to calculate the magnitude of the vector. So if you are asked to calculate the direction of the vector A, then you will take the vertical component divided by horizontal component. You will take the reverse of the angle. You will be able to calculate the direction of this angle along the two axes. Addition of vectors by rectangular components. Suppose this one is a vector A, this one is a vector B. You are asked to calculate these two vectors, and you are adding these two vectors. It's a rectangular component. What will you do? You will draw a perpendicular from this point on x-axis, and you will get horizontal Ax. This one is a vector A, and Ay, both the component, horizontal and vertical component. You will draw a perpendicular from terminal point of B towards x-axis up to the initial point of the B. This one is then horizontal component parallel to horizontal axis. This one is parallel to y-axis. So this is basically vertical component. It's not Bx, it's By. So, so this is by. Then if it is ay, the component of vector a along y-axis, then the total will be equal to, if you see the total, that will be ay, that will be by ay. If it is r, it is equal to r x and ry. It will be equal to sum of the horizontal component of vector A and sum of horizontal component of vector B. This will be the total horizontal component. But what about the vertical component? If this is AY, this one is BY, it will be equal to AY plus BY. This is the total sum of the vertical components of these two vectors, and it will be equal to horizontal component. First, what will you do? You have to calculate the horizontal component of both the vectors A and B. Then you will find the vertical components of vectors A and B. You will add the horizontal components of both the vectors separately. You will add the vertical components of both the vectors separately. Here it will be Rx and here it will be Ry. So when you are getting horizontal and vertical component, this will be in the form of two vectors, as you see. Here it is. If there are two vectors, then it is R is equal to A plus B, and A plus B, two vectors are added. So Rx means both the horizontal component of vector A and B, and Rx means the unit vector, that is AXI plus B dxi. You are basically representing vectors along with its unit vector. So here it is rxi, that is axi plus bxi. So same other steps followed for the vertical component. Ry will be equal to the y component of vector A plus y component of vector B. So this will be Ryj plus Byj, because both are along vertical direction. So this is basically vertical component of vector Ryj. This is the horizontal component of vector R. This is Rxi. So only the difference is unit vectors along x component and y component. So if you look at this, resultant vector is equal to Rx plus Ry. Now we are calculating the horizontal the total resultant value. So here it is. If you look at, you have added both the horizontal components of A and B. So if you look at, you have then added the both components, vertical components. Here you are getting Rx, you are getting Ry. So this resultant vector is equal to Rx plus Ry. If you look at, this one is basically Rx and this one is Ry. This is the horizontal component, and this one is AY and BY. This is the vertical component, and these two are adding together up to one vector Rx, and these two are added together, which is equal to vertical component of this vector Ry. This Rx and Ry collectively, they are basically equal to R. So here it is. This one is horizontal component, both the vectors. This is the vertical component of both the vectors. And you know, when you take the square of the I, it is equal to 1. So that's why this R is equal to Rx square plus Ry square. So here is the resultant magnitude of these two vectors. That is, these are the two vectors in place of Rx and Ry. After putting the value, you will be calculating the resultant vector. Now, how to calculate the direction of this vector? That is, you will divide the vertical component and horizontal component. Then you will be taking the angle, and you will be able to find the direction of the resultant vector. So here it is. This tangent theta is basically this Ry is equal to basically Ay By, and this Rx is basically equal to Ax plus Bx. Putting the values or values here, you will be able to calculate. So if you are asked to find the direction in case of number of other vectors, then this will be your technique to find, and it will be Ax Bx plus Cx, and it will be Ay By Cy, and up to the In case of 2 axis, it is up to y, and in case of 3 axis, it will be up to z. So finally, you are calculating angle between the two vectors. In case of three vectors, you have already done in case of two vectors up to this point. But if you increase up to three vectors, here will be the procedure to follow. So again, you are calculating resultant. So it will be rx square plus ry square plus, this will be the 2 in the form of 2. But in case of 3 axis, it will be rg square, r square z. So finally, you are getting the direction, and direction is ry plus r divided by rx. So this is the procedure to calculate. This one is the main steps calculated to find the horizontal and vertical component, and then this is the procedure to calculate the angle or the direction of the vector by using this technique. So here is one vector which is making an angle theta. Along this, you will write this one, and here it will be positive x-axis, here it will be negative, which we already just discussed. In this case, it is y will be positive, and in this case, x component of this vector will be minus, and y is also minus. What is the angle you are adding starting from 180 plus? And if you look at this one, here is a point where x-axis is plus, but the y-axis is minus. These are the techniques to represent the position of the vector in case of coordinates, and the values of the vectors, or the position of the vector is given, and the direction of the vector is given. There are the two vectors in Cartesian coordinates. Here f1x, f2x, and f1y and f2y. You will put the values, the values are given, then you will calculate fry, and then you will calculate rx by putting the values which I have already discussed the techniques. So you will be calculating two component, that is ry and rx. You will put the value to find the resultant in case of rx, and ry, which you have added with the help of the rectangular coordinates. And finally, you will be getting the resultant. It is rx square. It is here ry square. This is the value of the resultant vector. And if you are asked to find the direction, it is ry. Where is ry? This one. And then divided by rx. This is rx. 0.866 divided by 15. So here it is. The angle is then 30 degrees. So with the angle, you are calculating basically direction of the resultant force. Here is another example where all components are given. Again, you are calculating horizontal component, then you are calculating vertical component, and after putting the values, you are getting one horizontal and one vertical component. Then you are calculating the finally you will be able to calculate the magnitude and the direction. So here it is. So with this, today's class ends. I hope you people have understood the main topics concerning vectors.